Welcome to another episode of Off the Record. These are impromptu videos where we have to go, you know what? Let's go off the record, off the routine, and let's talk.
Yes.
Because
We got a pod coming out, and you lot gonna listen to the pod. You gotta listen to. We didn't know, so when we recorded the pod, yes, we didn't know. We thought, we can't just give you that. Listen to the pod because still cool in it.
40 minutes before the news broke about Conor Benn, that's when we finished recording the pod.
Yeah.
So, watch it with that hindsight.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of funny because it's like, these men don't know what's coming. It's like bro, it's like my graduation picture, bro. I look at that picture and I get so upset because that's the day I got pulled over on the motorway and they took my car and I just never got it back.
Swear up.
Yeah. Mad story.
So I did not know that. That's insane.
In that cap and gown, yeah, it's like the pain that comes after that picture is crazy.
Wow.
I got pulled over on the motorway, me and my brother Josh, bro. Oh, man. And when you're not going to get the car back because, like, it's going to take too much palaver. By the time I was leaving the country, by the time I was going to get the car back, the price of it would have been more than the car. So,
I get you.
It was like, I had to just take that car as a loss, bro. So I just started taking all my stuff out.
That is insane.
I look at my graduation picture, I just look at it and think, man, if you knew what was coming after.
Anyway, wildest story, fam.
Yeah, let's get into it, bro.
Anyway, yeah, bro, Conor Benn, Eubank Jr. Conor Benn has tested positive for a banned substance ahead of the fight. 3 days before the fight, here we are. This is, we're trying to swim through these murky waters. Do you know what I mean? To try and understand what's going on. Like right now, the fight, British Board of Boxing Control or British Boxing Board, I don't care which order that's supposed to be. These men, there needs to be a big shake-up in boxing after this whole debacle.
100%.
But let's say this for what's happened. They've come out and said we don't sanction that fight. Now, it doesn't mean the fight can't go ahead because they're not suspending Conor Benn. Apparently, according to the rules, there is no direct violation of whatever. He's not guilty of anything according to their rules. Yeah. So according to British Boxing Board, they can't suspend him. So they're saying we're just not backing that fight, which is a weird stance to take. It seems very performative, in my opinion.
No, because why I understand why you say it seems performative. You got to understand now that it is the media story. I believe that the British Boxing Board of Control have probably known about this issue.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's okay. But then again,
why is it okay?
Well, no, public opinion, innit? The court of public opinion is one of the biggest courts in the game. So now they have to understand how they look. And yes, they've made some crazy decisions.
Sorry, I'm going mad listening to you speak and I can't jump in. You're talking about that's how they look. Well, what is the point of having a British Boxing Board of Control if you react to perception over what your job is supposed to be? That is my issue there.
And I understand that, but it's like you complaining about the will, bro. Again, this is how it looks. This is how it goes. This is how it moves. Yes, there needs to be change, but look at it. There was an issue. There was an issue in that fight. Who's the guy that had that fight? And then it went back and forth with the Boxing Board of Control, and they said, maybe we should look at this. Then they had an independent investigation and said, everything's fine. Judging was perfect. Someone that got involved with his
dodgy scorecard. And my man, Josh Taylor and
Josh Taylor. There you go. So and they had an investigation, bro.
I can't remember. Sorry,
it don't matter. There was an investigation, and they had the same findings. Said, everything's fine. No, it wasn't. Everyone and court of public opinion forced British Boxing Board of Control to look at something, and then they finally said they waited for the hysteria to die down, for everyone to finish being upset. And we said, we move ahead as normal. They're reactive.
Yeah, but the problem is, if let's say that happens now, so what are they going to do? They're going to come back and say, all right, the fight can go ahead because like Eddie wants it to and the fighters wanted to. Like they either have rules
now they can't do that now. They're stuck and caught themselves and they shot themselves in the foot because the Daily Mirror have played a blinder.
Yes, And this is what I'm saying. So, what is the point of having a boxing board of control if you are reactive to hysteria as opposed to what your actual stance is? Because up until yesterday, right, everybody has had this information. Even Eubank Jr. and their guys, they've had the chance to go through the medical advice to say, is this dangerous for me to go ahead? Or maybe they just said, we're going to up the P's. And they said, all right, cool, I take the risk for that money. We don't know what that convo looked like.
Mhm.
But them men have gone ahead. Everyone's gone ahead. Boxing board of control been in the know. And then they pop out now just because the Daily Mail and there's backlash to go, actually, yeah, no, you know what, you're mad. This shouldn't happen. Sorry?
Yeah, because now we're in the firing line again. So the problem is people start asking certain questions, and then remember, legally, there's different kind of legal ramifications. Before, if this thing was a secret and no one knew, we can just play it off. Remember, boxing is a very corrupt and dodgy sport. We've known that for years, right? So then after we say to ourselves, you know what, there's no blowback for us. But now you say to yourselves, okay, he's over. There's the rehydration clause. There's all this stuff. If something happens to Eubank, now you lot can get sued. We're now in a position where the lawyers come out and say, hey, before, under those circumstances before, everyone getting paid on the table, that's fine. Now there's accountability. Now we're forced to take accountability, and everyone's saying, well, who takes accountability? All the accountability now, if you notice, has been thrown on UCAD. UCAD is the design that boxing board of control, the rules they play by. So it says, well, the UCAD thing's fine, but still this is dangerous because the VADA thing, let's not pretend if anything happens in the ring, anything at all, yeah, we are liable. We now
can't unknow. We can't unknow what we know.
We can't unknow we can't unknow what we know. We can't unknow what everyone else knows about us knowing. So now this is an issue. This is a big problem. So yeah, we're not gonna sanction it. It makes no sense for us to sanction this now. Now, don't get twisted.
No, I hear you.
If the Mirror dropped this story, Daily Mail dropped the story 2-3 weeks ago, they would have sorted it out. Boxing board of control would have said, everyone would have been really angry, and then there's timing is the problem. There's not even the timing to get to say, you know what, let's just watch it anyway. That's gone. They've given them no wiggle room. There's no wiggle room, bro. There would have been no issue about having a press conference. Now we know what a press conference sounds like. It's not about the fight. How do you feel about him cheating?
Yeah, no, 100%. It's mad, you know what I mean? Like yesterday at the weigh-in, the public workout, the energy was crazy. Like you had that airy feel, you know, when something's happened. Yeah. You know what I mean? Shouts out to all the presenters and stuff on the broadcast, Chris Lloyd and Barker and them, man. Them guys were really trying to keep it together. Well, it's one of them ones where it's just like, there's a tornado behind you. And they're like, yeah, and up next we've got they kept it together, man. But like when Conor came forward now, so Conor's come forward, he's come to make a statement. And I thought that's ballsy to come out and because you know how bad the circus is going, to come out and say what you're saying. And he says, you know, I don't know what it is, what's happened there. I've been clean my whole career. I've been testing this whole time, and we're gonna get to the bottom of this. And it's interesting, bro. It's very interesting because,
what's interesting?
No, I said the whole thing is interesting because you look at it and you think this the drugs thing, and the drugs thing in this it's messy. Like, because you could look for an explanation, right? An explanation that makes sense. And no matter how much sense it makes, we're not rolling. Like the consumers. The consumers aren't hearing it. Like I'm not hearing a man say, "Oh, I just had a little." What did Billy Joe Saunders say? "Oh, I used a nasal spray." Use the nasal spray.
That's got a feminine. Is that got a feminine?
The cold or something like that. The fertility thing. Yeah, it's like. But it's one of those moments, right? And this is where, you know, when you relay the evidence and you say it like this, okay, cool. So I get into beef with a guy, right? Let's say guy is A, right? That day, I'm spotted in the same area. Later that day, after him beating me up or whatever, I'm spotted in the same area that he is later on. And then he gets beaten up. He tells everyone it's me. There's bare evidence. You got motive for why I would want to beat man up. Then there's man saying, yeah, I saw Trav there still. I saw Trav in the area. It looked nuts. And he looked bare angry. Trav's bare laid back and I saw him. He looked mad. And then he's banged up and I'm like, why would I do that to someone? Why would I be in the area? It's like the motive, though. because you're going up in weight. It's one of those things. It looks horrendous.
It's nuts. It is not. I'm trying to find. Wait, this. I'm trying to find what the nasal spray was and what was in it.
Oh, that
So
was Billy Joe's thing.
yeah, and I'm just trying to see what was in it, because if it was it the same?
So
was it the same drug as the one that?
I don't think it's the same drug as him, but
Okay.
it's one of those things here where when you look at those banned substances, the range of how mad they are. Because I saw like Vicks is on there. Like Vic, if you was to use Vicks, say if you used like using Canada, you use Vicks or something like that. Apparently, there's something in there that's a banned substance.
But
So
if you've been boxing for a long time, this is the thing, because this is the pushback that I've seen. I've been reading everything. I've been listening to all sides on Twitter. I just want to hear from the guys and no picture and that everybody.
Yeah. It's very funny seeing Fury fans really leading the charge on this. I had to say that. I'm sorry. Like, to see these men piping up about how the honor of the sport, I'm like, you know what? I can call something wrong and still love the fighter that's involved. Yeah, it's no secret that I love I'm a big Conor Benn fan, Nigel Benn fan, the Benn family, mad love for those guys. But if that's proven that you've cheated, then it's wrong. But when I see Fury fans leading the charge online because of how much they don't like Eddie Hearn, I think, hey, there's some battles that's for you, man. But this ain't one of those.
Yeah. Move out of this one. But again, you look at this situation, right? And you say, Conor, like, again, we don't know the full details, yeah? But
we don't.
You know that as a fighter, you know what you can put in your body and what you can't. You know that. Unfortunately, and even if they update the list, once they update, if you're like, as Eubank says, a consummate professional, the location's turned on at all times. They know where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? You see, it's a sacrifice. The sport is full of sacrifice, and they've had to sacrifice their personal lives, their privacy, all sorts of stuff, but for major awards. Now, again, the only reason I know why this fight still has to happen is because too much money has been spent. Too much money, bro. Bets have been made, hotels have been booked, everyone has done their necessary thing for this thing to happen. It's like a wedding getting cancelled. We're not canceling this wedding, bro. We're not canceling.
A marriage is taking place.
Marriage is taking. You lot don't love each other anymore. Listen, we'll sort that out later. A marriage is taking place because right now we put in too much. Look at those centerpieces, and that's what it is. You lot are the main dish.
Look at those flowers,
bro. Look at those flowers. They can't send them back. They're here now. Yeah, everybody's here. Everyone is literally the staff that is meant to be at Ota Arena. They're there now. Everybody is where they need to be. Production crew, everything has been done. You man, fight.
Do you know what you say about being a consummate professional?
Yeah,
it takes me back, right? Back in the day, when we had the radio show.
Yes.
So this was a while after you left.
Yeah.
We had Ahara Davis on as a guest.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Ahara Davis coming in the studio, and normally get snacks, get drinks for the guests and stuff like that. Came in, I said, bro, what do you want to drink to get your water? He goes, nah, nothing. I was like, just water. He goes, yeah, no, I can't unless like I won't be able to prove what's in it, basically. So no, I'm cool. I was like, and I remember in that moment, I was just like, oh shit, like, oh,
most
like
fighters that have come always said no.
They declined the snacks, yeah.
Decline the snacks, nah,
cool, bro.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and it's one of those ones where it's like you in that moment realize, oh yeah, your life is way different because of this thing. Do you know what I mean? So it's like when you say that staying on top of what you're eating and stuff like that, yeah, sometimes it means you can't eat out. You can't do certain things.
You can't do what the average man does.
But this is the thing though, right? There is that possibility of vulnerability if you go to eat out. You do anything crazy like that. You got to remember, like, you're a marked man in this world. Yeah? There's a lot of elements that take place. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to do conspiracy theory stuff.
This is the risk you
risk you take. Yeah, when you decide to eat and you can't verify that moment,
this is the risk
wide open for these moments.
Bro, this is the risk you take when you're in this thing, innit? Like, you can't, like, again, there's not a lot of businesses, yeah, that you're gonna walk away after a fight and get so and so million. It's very rare, like, in terms of, so you do a lot, but then the payout is incredible, right? There's a lot involved in that. Now, this road is not designed for everyone. The runs, the conditioning, the getting yourself into peak condition. This is not for everyone. That's why everyone's not a bloody champion, bro.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now, again, you know you're the main, again, you're the new face of the zone. Yeah. There's the man them before you, and that era is gonna tire out, and it's your time. This is almost like having an AJ being in this, because that's how Eddie Hearn's been slowly building Conor, right? This is his new the jewel, right? And look what's happened, unfortunately. And it's sad now because I'm watching all the build up. I like when IFL starts, it's got him talking. It's about legacy, him by himself, not Eubank, just him. So it's the preparation to build up this talent. And now it's almost like it's like a picture that's been smudged. And you're like, the picture's still there, because I'm not saying Conor Benn's finished. I'm saying
he ain't finished at all.
I'm looking at the picture now with that annoying thing over there. And I'm like, while it's still a good picture, what the hell is that? My eye is still diverted to that. Now, maybe over time, I can get over that, because we did with Canelo. We have with Fury. We've had with Dillian. Well, Dillian was cleared.
Was he cleared? Okay, cool. Fine. Sorry.
But
again, the fact it came up, the fact is on my head as that.
Exactly.
Goes to show.
Exactly. With Pacquiao, there's so many.
And that was never even confirmed, but there was just
the suspicion alone makes you look at the thing and say, I don't like that. Do you know what I mean? So,
but this is why, on our Undefeated page, tweet went out basically saying how Tyson Fury is the proof of concept that people don't really care about drugs cheats as time goes on. Do you know what I mean? It will come up and people will say it, but there needs to be a culture shift, because let's say this, right? Why did UCAD miss it?
Because they probably got the rubbish, what do you call it, ones, man. They're not testing the same.
So they're not testing at the same time. Well, this is what I'm saying. So if that is the case, right, and UCAD are missing it, so that means UCAD aren't reliable then. Is that what that looks like now?
I'm saying there needs to be a new governing, there needs to be a thing where all of the entities are together. At every level, there needs to be one body. There needs to be one body in boxing that is. No, I'm not talking about the WBO and all that other stuff. I'm talking about the main health sanctioning thing for boxing. You have to amalgamate them, because this can't keep happening. Because again, if we say we care about fighters' health, which I don't think we do, I think it's just a statement. At the moment, it's just a statement, because you're testing on that statement. When it's your turn, when it's your fighter that could be in trouble, you sound different. And I have to be, bro. I can never do this show and not keep it 100. Yeah, Eddie Hearn has sounded different. When he's gonna be on the receiving end of the what you call it, he don't want this. This ain't good enough. We have to go to the top of the top, the best testing ever. But now it's so fire. Now UCAD's enough in that. No, bro, it has to be, and everyone is going to be tested. You get tested with the amount of money's in there, and I understand it because my money's not in there, so it's easy for me to talk like this. But I'm saying, bro, if the fighter's health is important, let it be important. Or let's just say, you know what, we don't care what happens in this business. And that's what, for me, as this fight goes ahead, that's all I think, because still, these men, remember, people talk to us and say, don't take the sport too lightly. Don't do this, like, you lot have to be aware of the position you play. All right. Well, we understand that now. What about you lot? Because anything happens to this fighter tomorrow, everyone allowed this to go ahead. Everybody allowed this to go ahead. And then after you say to yourself, and don't scratch yourself and say, I don't know how this happened. Why are we here? We know why we're here. Because the appropriate work is not done in the background of boxing. Because the stakes are too high. Too much money's involved. And then after you got to say, now we've got to question just integrity of, do we care about these fighters? So don't tell us that. Don't tell us jokes and rare around. Remember that little my man, bro, that's chatting all this. I want to hear from these man them now. What's everyone saying? Do we care or do we not care?
No, and the thing is, everybody like has been reacting in accordance with what you're saying. Do you know what I'm saying? But there's a few people that's going against it. Like, there's talk about the doctor that was involved in the camp, and on this doctor's page is like testosterone replacement therapy stuff, and we're seeing names like Anthony Fowler on there, Joseph Parker, Tyson Fury is listed as one of his clients, as well as Conor Benn. Tommy Fury as well. I look at this stuff and I'm like, this looks bad. This looks really bad. And the conversation, do we actually care about fighters? That touches on many levels. Do you know what I mean? It touches on levels of how fighters are paid, how fighters are looked after boxing. There's no retirement. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that. And also, like, let's look at it like this. Only boxing at the top level is really doing all this blood testing. All right. So,
oh, Travis.
When we have conversations, right, about, you know, fighters who, yeah, you knocked out all those guys, but when you got to the top level, you came up wanting. Is that because the fighter wasn't truly as dominant and he was fighting, you know, B-level competition? Or was that because he was juiced to his eyeballs? And now at this level, I can't juice. Now you see the real me when I'm in there with the top level fighters. So there's a lot of different ways to look at.
They can't, and the sad thing is they can't afford the lower level fighters can't even afford to have all year round testing. Again, all this thing, like the fact that VADA and UCAD and all these testing companies have been involved, they need to take their piece of the pie of this fight. There's money there's a bill. You know, when you go out to eat with a man them and then the bill comes, bro, we're looking at the bill, but no one's eating. That's the worst thing. They bought the bill and said, raw, I ain't even got to start yet, you know? And now what happens? Who pays? Because no one wants to pay at the table. And that's the issue is right now is, and you can see it, there's breakdowns. I'm looking at everything that's at play right now. Eubank is pissed. Eubank can't say how he feels.
Eubank wants his money.
His money's involved. Give me my dough, right? Conor Benn's Conor Benn's got loads of things to think about right now. But then money, there's still the bottom line is there's a bag of men that need their dough. Yeah. That's the foundation of this thing. But again, if money is gonna go ahead of everybody's health, then let's say it be so. Let's just say that's the blanket line now. Now, boxing border control.
Do you remember ages ago when I said if there was a steroid league in boxing?
Yeah.
And I got crucified. But now, if it is a thing where it is that open, where we are saying, all right, let's cut the crap. We don't care. He's still up for it. He's up for it. They've spoken. They're cool. Run it.
They signed the waiver. Let's go.
Because the narrative that comes out in the midst of this, right, is interesting. Because fighters come out and say 85% of men in this thing are on drugs anyway. It's just the ones that get caught. So now I'm looking at it and thinking, well, that's interesting then. Because
hey, boxing is a funny little sport.
It's a soap opera right now.
Boxing is a funny little sport, man. Again, the fans were robbed. The fans have been robbed. Like,
well, you say that, but the fans still might get a cracking fight. And let's not forget how short people's memories are. This fight could go ahead. Fight can go ahead, yeah.
I hear that, but we're robbed.
Let's say it's a classic, a 12-round madness. Sunday, people are dissecting the performance.
It's got an asterisk,
and that's the unfortunate part.
No, but I'm saying it's got an asterisk next to it. It's like I don't care what the performance is like. Remember, I've been excited about this fight from as soon as it was announced. When I thought, this can't happen. They're not even waiting. Bro, I have not thought about is anything dodgy about it in terms of their.
I was worried about Junior making weight. Senior's reaction had me thinking of what, concern about all these things, and now it's like
it's got an asterisk next to it.
Senior would have been in the know then.
When Conor Benn takes a mad shot, yeah, and then he just firms it. You'll look at that and you won't say bloody hell. Look at the chin. Yeah, bloody hell, man. What was that? And that's the problem, and I'm saying that's the backfall. I'm not saying he's done it, by the way. So I'm not saying he's guilty. This is just what will go on in the minds of a fighter. So I'm saying nobody wins. If Conor Benn raises his hands against and beats Eubank Jr., he does not win. I have to let people really understand that. This is a lose-lose for Conor. We have to walk away from the table. But the problem is we're losing peace. That's the issue. The whole thing comes down to peace right now. Eubank wants his dough. Can you lot still run me my money if this thing doesn't happen? Nah. Absolutely. Is there anything covered? When we look at the contract, have I protected myself to still get paid if he does a madness? No, we didn't think to put that in. Damn it.
the last update I've seen, there's a guy, he's a journalist. Oh, flip me! I wish I saved the tweet. Basically, he's come out and he's just said that interesting. Sorry, I'm just seeing mad updates as it's coming in. All right, so the last thing I saw was a journalist basically saying how Eubank's trying to negotiate on the weight situation. All right, to try and go ahead with the fight. Just looking at Michael Benson now, Chris Eubank, Conor Benn is now near certain to take place, despite Benn's test. It's claimed there are as many as 3 overseas bodies to potentially sanction the fight if the British Boxing Board won't. Eddie Hearn has just tweeted 3 minutes ago, as of right now. Let's see what today brings. But to make one thing clear, I will not be promoting this fight with a foreign commission or alternative governing body on Saturday night. Oh, interesting. Hold on a second. Is that tweet deleted? No, it's there.
It's not happening.
So it's looking like, oh, all right. I tell you what.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
I tell you what we do. Let's wait for the presser, and then maybe we come back again. Let's wait for the presser.
Well, like this again, we just wanted to give you a lot of update.
Yeah.
What we'll do potentially is the next time we probably just emergency smoke if we have to do it, bro. And then, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're getting
we just wanted to talk, man. This week is just it's play by play. It's happening so far. We got a pod that's about to drop later this evening, and it's the day before this has all come out. So we wanted to do a bit more because we're gonna be we need to be on the button basically.
Yeah. So listen, you look after yourselves.
For real.
I hope like the right minds play out in this moment. I really do. I really hope common sense overshadows everything else, because this is a moment where you can say, how much do we care about these fighters?
Yeah, no, 100%. And none of us live comfortably knowing that Eubank Jr. got hurt on Saturday and we had all of this information beforehand. Because the Oscar Rivas situation, even though Dillian White was cleared, let's just say, you know, we look back at that moment and say the fight went ahead and the information was known. It you know, whilst he was cleared and afterwards it's worked out to be fine, that, you know, we've got to really be sensible here.
Black man, there's been issues in boxing that have changed people's lives, right?
Yeah.
And we now just take what Senior's saying seriously. That's what I'm saying. Like, Senior was aware, Senior had the information, and it's very telling when you see the Michael Benson reports that the weight thing now has to be looked at, because you want me to fight him at an unfair advantage, which I believe he has. Because if there's nothing wrong, nothing should change in the weight. Nothing should change. Why is the weight all of a sudden changing? What's wrong, guys?
All right, man. Look, that's off the record. We're gonna be back. Don't worry, we're gonna be back. We're gonna be back.
See you later, man.
Peace.